So the holidays for a lot of people is the best times of the year. You gather around with your family, and that used to be the experience for me. But ever since my dad died, it hasn't been the same experience. And then earlier this week, one of my childhood heroes, Jason David Frank, unfortunately passed away. So I had a lot of different feelings and emotions this week, so I was just reflecting and staying away from people. But as a content creator, your mind's always racing in what's next and how you want to create content. And seeing as it was Thanksgiving and it's things you want to be grateful for, I wanted to do a video on the artist slash rapper slash musician that has changed my life like no other artist has before. And the reason why I say this is because I listen to OutKast more than I listen to anyone in my entire life, and especially as a young impressionable kid, just who they are and what their vibe was about really resonated with me. And in particular, Andre 3000 always stood out to me just because of how one, talented he is and how comfortable he was being in his own skin. I really just respected that. Now don't get me wrong, I am not one of these OutKast fans that think Andre 3000 kills Big Boy on every verse. If you're a true OutKast fan, you know there were times when Big Boy was eating up Andre 3000, like Skew It on B-Bar, for example. Either way, I just want to let you know I love and appreciate Big Boy just as much as I do Andre 3000, but yeah, he resonated a little bit more with me just because of the relatability factor. And in me making this video, I wanted to talk about 5 verses from 5 different songs that really painted the picture that, damn, this man is very intellectual and he's someone that I agree with and I can relate to. Now I'm actually going to play the verses for you guys so you can hear them originally, how they are and how they meant to be presented. And me doing so, this video is not going to be monetized. So if you really enjoyed the thought process and effort of me going into this, be sure to leave a like, maybe subscribe, and then you can comment what's your favorite verse of the ones that I've shown today. So before I get into this, let it be known, I am not saying these are his best verses. I'm saying these are the ones that have resonated with me the most out of all of his verses. Let that be known. So the first song, and if you're not someone that's deep into the Dungeon family, you may not know it, but it's off Goody Mob's Soul Food album and it's called Thought Process. So now the Soul Food album dropped in 1995, but let me just play you this Andre 3000 verse and then we can talk about it.
The thought process. Now as an outcast, I was born, wasn't warned of the harm that would come to meet me like MetLife, but yet life done sent me through a lot of ups and downs like it ain't nothing, like elevators, but I ain't the one that's pushing the buttons. I got off at the 13th floor when they told me that it wasn't one. They said it's skipped from 12 to 14. Still smoking, still drinking. No, I'm sitting on the Lincoln 4 a.m. thinking that in reality the world is like a ball full of players. We trapped off in this maze with walls made up like it's an only prayer. It's the tightest game that you can have. The devil's taking a swing that might just bring the broken glass, but my crystal ball see the pistol fall to the wayside. Nobody would die in cops and robbers when we used to play ride. Only thing we feared was Williams Wayne. Never thought about hitting licks or slanging pain. Did not think I'd be the one to give into abortion. Label me murderer because my ass is scorching hot from the Glock that sits under my seat. Yeah, it's real fucked up that my folks come to get me, and it's like that. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like them. It's like that, y'all.
The whole verse just really resonated with me, and it was like I was young, like I was going through life, but then when I turned 16, like life just started beating me in the ass. When did I sign up for this shit? It just was like a lot of ups and downs, like it was nothing like elevators, but I wasn't the one pushing the buttons. When tragedy in life just keeps happening to you and you don't even know how to explain it, that's literally how it feels. I'm supposed to get off on the 13th floor, and there is no 13th floor. It's just complete chaos. And when he's talking about he was sitting on the Lincoln 4 a.m. thinking, like around that time in my life, I was really dealing with like insomnia. I was not sleeping well. I was thinking in life and like honestly, like what did I do to deserve this? So when Andre 3000 was saying that in reality the world is like a ball full of players, we trapped off in this maze with walls made of layers, and only prayer's the tightest game that you can have. The devil's taking a swing that might explain the broken glass. Bro, when life was so hard or so crazy that that. Sometimes all you could literally do is pray that things would be alright. I knew what this man was talking about. Is he in my head? Does he know what I've been through? And then when he started talking about never thought hitting licks or slinging cane, when I talk about this is like the impressionable stages of my life. This is from like age 15 to 18. Steady listening to this verse like all the damn time. I was like the first times in my life where you start seeing people you know become drug dealers. I live in Vegas. I started seeing people either get into hoeing or get into pimping. I just started seeing a lot of people you grew up with that were so innocent no longer being innocent. And it's like, what happened to when we was just hooping or playing games or having fun? To me, this is Andre 3000's most personable verse. I know it word for word. I always will play it if I'm ever down and just need to start thinking. First off, the whole thought process song in general, just go listen to it. It's amazing. These guys give real perspective and it's just real music. Yeah, this is the first song from Andre 3000 that was really personable for me. I'm gonna go into number 2. With how I'm doing this, I'm going in the order that the song's released, not more so what touched me the most or what resonated with me the most. So then we're gonna go to the AT-Aliens album that came out in 1996. First off, classic, love everything on it. But I want to talk about 2 Andre 3000 verses in particular from this album. The first one being the opening verse of Millennium. Let me just play it for you guys right now.
Me and everything around me is unstable like Chernobyl. Ready to go at any moment, jumping like a pogo stick. Life never lived up to my expectations, so I accept the patience. Expect the worst, but now I'm pacing back and forth inside. I'm melting like water on wicked witches. A monster truck don't came and ran over my picket fences. I had the best of life in my clenches, but monkey wrenches was thrown like chairs kings sit on. My prayers seem too long. I fall asleep before the ending. Don't even get to say amen. I hope he understand I be on bended knees. At times I think I'm crazy, then I say forget it. Or maybe it's the devil infiltrating and like Riddick Bowe, I've been fighting this since them fetus days. I'll count from 1 to 20 when I'm through, repeat the phrase. It's just a phase, it's gonna all pass, but that gets old too. I'm weakening like a deacon doing dirt, when am I supposed to?
Back to the everything around me was unstable like Chernobyl. I was really listening to OutKast and doing all of this when life really was first kicking my ass with tragedies and just being hard on me. At this point, life never lived up to my expectations, so I accept the patience, expect the worst, but now I'm packing back and forth. Inside, I'm melting like water on wicked witches. A monster trunk done coming over my picket fences. We were constantly moving. I constantly had to keep my composure. To the average person, I'm seeing fine, but on the inside, like, I'm just deteriorating in a shell. And then it's like I had the best of my life in my clenches, but monkey wrenches was thrown. You know, that's like everyone's had certain situations where you wish didn't happen or transpire. The ending part really resonated with me. He goes, at times I think I'm crazy, then I say forget it, or maybe it's a devil infiltrating. And like Riddick Bowe, I've been fighting since them fetus days. I count from 1 to 20, when I'm through, repeat the phrase. It's just a phase, it's all gonna pass, but that gets old too. I'm weakened like a deacon doing dirt, what I'm supposed to. Cause when you talk to people or when you're going through stuff, they're all gonna be like, it's just a phase, it's gonna pass. And it's easy to say from the outer perspective, but when you're out there living and being in it, that shit gets old, because it's like, I'm fucking sick in my head right now and you telling me it's gonna be okay, when he's like, what am I supposed to do? You're so confused and don't understand what's really going on. Why is life even like this? It don't make sense what I'm going through. So when Andre 3000 wrote this, resonated with me very deeply. The next one won't be as sad or grim. I know the first 2 unfortunately were, but this one is a little bit more positive and uplifting in a sense, and this is off of Extraterrestrial. So Big Boy had the first verse and Andre 3000 had the second verse. Keep in mind, this is one of the other ones where Big Boy was keeping toe to toe with Andre. Like this one right here, like they both were just eating it up. But let me play Andre 3000's verse.
Right now, I'm smiling, taking advantage of this moment, cause there might not be another soon. Holding on to memories like roller coaster handlebars tightly, cause I'm slightly off my rocker. But to you, I may appear to be your average Joe, but little do you know that even Joe got problems that he got to joust with. Floating in this game of life, in spite how out of place you may feel in this race, or you just can't quit. Ain't that a bitch that be in heat? I'm on the beat like cops. Only cultivate the stable dirt when I skeet my drops. Don't concentrate in knocking other niggas out the box. Why? Cause in a sense, see we kinda fly, just can't be scared to spread your wings. Head to better things. Maybe the mockingbird and nightingale, they want to sing. Keeping this thing alive, to the table's what we bring. We like hailstorms and blizzards in the middle of the spring. Extraterrestrial. Out of this world. Things like that.
But right now, I'm smiling, taking advantage of this moment because there might not be another soon. Holding on to memories like roller coaster handlebars tightly because I'm slightly off my rocker. But to you, I may appear to be your average Joe. But little do you know that even Joe got problems that he got to joust with. There's certain times when you're happy or when you're smiling and you just gotta enjoy that moment because it may not happen again. With this verse for me, everyone's going through problems. You may appear this person's an average Joe, but you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what people are going through. And I'm like, all right, Andre, let's see what else you're gonna go with this verse. But right now, you speaking some facts. And then he goes, floating in this game of life, despite how out of place you may feel in this race, oh, you just can't quit. Especially growing up in the 2000s, I am very proud of Generation Z and the groups after us. As a black millennial, you either had to act a certain type of way or they was gonna call you weird for not liking things that were perceived as the traditional black setting. We weren't rocking anime openly. We weren't talking about listening to rock. Looking back, I wish I did, but that was just the times and things you grew up in. It's like you liked those things, you kept it to yourself. You didn't really express it. So I always felt out of place. I'm not really truly being my full self because if I am, then everyone's gonna look at you like you're the biggest weirdo ever. Understood that very vividly. And then he's talking about no concentrating knocking other niggas out the box. Why? Because in a sense, see, we all can be kind of fly, just can't be scared to spread your wings, head to better things. Maybe the mockingbird and the nightingale they want to sing. That taught me is like, you can't focus on what other people are doing. I ain't gonna knock on what another person doing, but you also can't be scared to be your true self, pursue your dreams. You know what I mean? It made me realize like, yes, I may be a little bit different and not the average Joe, but you still need to be yourself, head to better things, and chase your dreams. I love this verse so much. And it's like in one of my top 5 Andre 3000 verses because he goes from the relatability to uplifting and all while delivering it very well and thought-provoking. I just love Andre 3000's writing style. I go out of my way to listen to this song for motivation. He was on his shit on this song. I know a lot of people that feel like an extraterrestrial or they don't feel of this world. And I'm not acting like I'm the most weirdest or strangest, but considering the norm of what people do and accept, I'm definitely not that, and I had to choose to accept that, and this song helps me in accepting that. Now the last 2 are gonna come off Aquemini. Now let it be known, Aquemini is my favorite album of all time. I play it front to back, no skips, no nothing. Best album ever created. There's no debate. Just letting that be known. So there's 2 songs I want to talk about this one. The first one is Return of the G, and Andre 3000 has the opening verse on this song. Let me give a little bit of background on Andre 3000 for people that didn't know. If you never heard OutKast's first album, Andre 3000 is very different from when he's doing his second and third album. On that album, he's a little bit more gangsta, smoking. You could tell the youth was still in him, but in between those years, he, one, stopped smoking and drinking and kind of changed his life, and in doing so people started looking at him weird, or was he a part of the cult? And now in me saying that, when you listen to this verse, it's gonna make a lot more sense. So here we go.
Yeah, it goes like this right here. It's like niggas always be hollering peace, you know what I'm saying? Peace, my brother, peace this, peace that, you know what I'm saying? But every time I try to get a peace of mind, niggas try to get a piece of mine, so I gotta grab my piece. It's the return of the gangster, thanks to them niggas that's on that blow that run up in your crib, which contains your lady and an 8-month-old child to raise. Plus you true blue about this music, but they do not want to hear because they'd rather be bouncing and shooting and killing and bouncing and shit. Get down. Return of the gangster, thanks to them niggas that think y'all soft and say y'all be gospel rapping, but they be steady clapping when you talk about bitches and switches and hoes and clothes and weed. Let's talk about time traveling, rhyme jabbling, something mind unraveling. Get down. Return of the gangster, thanks to them niggas that got them kids. They got enough to buy an ounce, but not enough to bounce them kids to the do it to the park. So they grow up in the dark, never seeing light, so they end up being like your sorry ass, robbing niggas and broad ass. They like get down. Return of the gangster, thanks to them niggas who get the wrong impression of expression. Then the question is big, boy, what's up with Andre? Is he in the coke? Is he on drugs? Is he gay? When y'all gonna break up? When y'all gonna wake up? Nigga, I'm feeling better than ever. What's wrong with you? You get down.
Now why I love this verse, and we ain't gonna go bar for bar. This was just reaffirming my beliefs on how, one, this man is a very strong person. Two, it was like, no matter what Andre 3000 was going to do, he was never gonna please these niggas. He was never gonna please these people, whether he's being his former self, which they wanted, you know, the pimps and hoes and all of that, or he started being his extraterrestrial self, and they start calling him weird. Is he gay, or is he being cold? And in listening to this verse, and one, you could just hear it in his energy, he just wants to be him. He's saying, you got enough to buy an ounce, but you ain't got enough to feed your kid. He's insinuating that y'all are throwing stones when you live in glass houses yourself, so fuck you, fuck all of that. I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna be the best me that I can. So it's the return of the G. He's being his true self, and when I finally heard that and listened to that and took all of it in, I was just like, God damn, man, this man's powerful, he's strong, you could feel it in his energy. You could just tell with this verse, and the fact that this was the first verse on the album, it was the intro where they weren't really on it. He set the tone for this album, he set the tone for everything, and he was not here to fuck around, and that's why I just love this verse, I love this album. Everything about it is just perfect energy. Now the last one is actually off the song called Equimini. I know the album's called Equimini, but there's a song for it as well. And it's not Andre 3000's first verse, it's his second verse. And it's actually the fourth verse on the song. You know, back in the day, songs actually used to be longer than a few minutes. But regardless, it's one of Andre 3000's most thought-provoking verses for me. But Equimini was a song I always just play in the background, chill and relax. It's such a soothing beat, and hearing these people talk real shit, it just hit different for me. So let me play you guys the verse right now.
Aquarius in the gym and I run the shit like this.
My mind warps and bends, floats the wind, count to 10, meet the twin, Andre Ben, welcome to the lion's den. Original skin, many men comprehend, I extend myself, so you go out and tell a friend. Sin all depends on what you believe in, faith is what you make it, that's the hardest shit since MC Ren. Alien can blend right on in with your kin, look again, cause I swear I spot one every now and then. It's happening again, wish I could tell you when. Andre, this is Andre, y'all is just gonna have to make amends.
Sin all depends on what you believe in, faith is what you make it, that's the hardest shit, so MC Ren. Alien can blend right on in with your kin, look again, cause I swear I spot one every now and then. For one, MC Ren's my favorite member of NWA, if we're gonna be real. Something about him I fucked with it. This verse to me kind of taught me more than anything in the world, more than going to church or religion or anything like that. Sin all depends on what you believe in, faith is what you make it. Me hearing that, because I grew up in a church setting, like I was in a church choir. I met Kobe Bryant from being in that choir. Church never resonated with me. It always just felt like a chore. I'm like, why am I here? I would always be questioning the youth pastor. He was annoyed with me. I'm a cynical person, you know? I'm gonna be like, but why though? So when he said, sin all depends on what you believe in, I was like, hell yeah, I need to form my own moral compass, because I don't agree what's in this book, or I don't agree with all of these rules. When I really started to grow up and learn that, I was like, bro, I make my own rules, I make my own moral compass. Obviously, I'm not gonna do something that's gonna take my livelihood away or put me in jail. When it comes to other things, I can form my own opinion, and it is what it is. Either you can agree with it or you don't. And then faith is what you make it. That's when I'm like, at the time I didn't know, I was like, I believe in God, but I don't believe in religion. And I finally was able to figure out what my beliefs are. If you guys really want to know, I feel like a lot of people should look more into what theism versus deism is. But in the grand scheme of things, I see a little bit of both sides, but I'm definitely more towards a theism than I am a deism. And like I said, if you want to know more, look up into it. But yeah, I was able to form my own moral compass of what is a sin and what isn't, and my own belief and faith. And a lot of that really derived just from hearing that and listening to Andre 3000's verse. Of course, the verse is hard and the delivery and everything is just A1. I just love that song, the beat, everything about it. As I said, Equimini is the perfect album to me, 10 out of 10. You guys let me know. Have you guys heard any of these verses? Do they resonate with you like they do me? Do you guys want me to do a video where I come out with more of these relatable verses of Andre 3000? Do you want me to do like the best Andre 3000 verses? Do you guys want me to do this for different artists? You let me know in the comment section. But if you've made it to this point, I appreciate you for sticking around this long. As you know, if Chris Cadence, I'm going to give you guys hip-hop content or pop culture content whenever it's there. That's why I make sure to subscribe, turn the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. This Chris Cadence, I'm out this motherfucker.